Hi, it's been a minute. I just thought I would give us a quick update about the CryptoZoo Logan Paul class action lawsuit. I've always felt like there was a legitimate case here, and I still do. I think that what happened was shady, in my opinion. I think that Logan Paul knew exactly what he was doing, and I think that he needs to pay to make all the people who he scammed whole. I saw an article from TMZ that said that the case was over, and it made it sound like, there was nothing else was going to be going on because the judge had dismissed it. I felt like it was kind of misleading. It was misleading. And I'm starting to think or wonder whether or not TMZ is taking money for advertising rather than actually producing legitimate articles, but that's for another discussion. So anyway, I wanted to talk about this. What's really happening is that a judge looked at the complaint and said, hey, we need some more information here to make it viable. And you can go ahead and do that. Give me some more information. File an amended complaint if you want to. And that's exactly what the plaintiffs did. They filed an amended complaint, I believe on November 12th. And now that complaint is 210 pages long with a whole bunch of information in here that is quite damning, if you ask me. But know that the class action is not over. It hasn't gone away. A judge has not permanently dismissed it. And despite what I guess Logan Paul is like going out and telling people that, which is misleading AF. Anyway, so I just want to read a little bit of what the allegations are here in this amendment complaint. You can go out to Court Listener and pull up a copy of this complaint and read the whole thing if you want to. It's free. But right now I'm just going to read a little bit of this. Okay. So it says, as shown below, thousands of consumers were duped into purchasing this non-existent product for one single reason. Defendant Logan Paul continuously represented the existence and viability of these products in various false statements designed to fraudulently induce investment in CryptoZoo products between August 18, 2021 and January 4th, 2024. Defendant Paul knew that these representations, all of his statements, were false or materially misleading at the time they were made. Each of Paul's knowingly false statements were intended to induce continued purchases of Zoo tokens and CryptoZoo NFTs, and did so. Plaintiffs relied upon these specific statements described below in making their purchases. Defendant Paul, Greenbaum, and a third guy all profited from this scheme. In addition to what Paul said publicly to promote CryptoZoo, what he failed to disclose and is even more revealing. Before announcing CryptoZoo on August 18, 2021, Paul and his co-defendants secretly launched the Zoo tokens and acquired large quantities at an artificially low price. This undisclosed stealth launch amounted to classic insider trading. The defendant Paul purchased the Zoo tokens among themselves at a fraction of the value the tokens would reach once promoted to the public, allowing Paul, Greenberg, and the other guy to accumulate enormous holdings before consumers even knew the project existed, which is shady AF. They then used material, non-public information about the upcoming launch and Paul's promotional influence to position themselves for profit once the trading began. Compounding this deception, the CryptoZoo white paper, which defendant Paul personally wrote or approved, represented that the largest wallets were locked and that all founder-held tokens would be restricted for 6 months to prevent insider sales. Defendant Paul knew these assurances were false at the time of the writing and endorsing the white paper. Paul and the other founders never disclosed to the public that they themselves were early purchasers and controlled substantial portions of the total token supply. The white paper promises of locked founder wallets gave investors the impressions that insiders could not dump tokens when, in truth, the very individual behind CryptoZoo were the primary beneficiaries of the initial stealth launch. Crazy. This is one of the reasons why I say, you know what, do not buy this stuff. I can't tell you how many of these I've read where people were just ripped off. It's just not a good idea to get your financial advice from some influencer, especially someone like Logan Paul. What the heck does he know about financial advice? He's a boxer and he does crazy stuff on the internet. That's not somebody who's qualified to give any kind of advice about anything financial. So anyway, to disguise their insider activity, Defendant Paul established internal rules for when and how the founders could trade their Zoo tokens. Those rules acknowledged that the defendants knew their conduct was improper and that the public promotion would dramatically inflate prices once the game was announced. The existence of these rules confirms that the defendants viewed the Zoo tokens as an investment security and understood that they were manipulating the market. Anyway, you can read in full. The main point of this post was just to say, no, the class action is not over. There has been another amended filing. It's out there. And the last thing that I saw here on Court Listener was that that Logan Paul's team, I guess, is asking for an extension to reply. And I've always felt like there was a legitimate case here, and I still do. I think that what happened was shady, in my opinion. I think that Logan Paul knew exactly what he was doing, and I think that he needs to pay to make all the people who he scammed whole. Anyway, it's nice to see you. It's like I said, it's been a while, and I'll see you next time.